Hey, Beechcraft here. Welcome back to the channel. In my last episode, I laid down the main structure of this base I'm calling the hub. But that's the only thing I was able to get done, the main structure. In fact, the only piece of furniture I have is my bed that we moved in. And I also have a crafting table, but the entire place needs to have a purpose and a function. And that's the work we need to start on today. I've got a lot of work ahead of me and a lot of things to do. The first thing I intend to do is to transform this area into my main storage. Right now, everything is in shulker boxes out on the other side of my base, and I want to get it in here so that I can start using this as my primary source of blocks and everything else. So here we go. And here are the humble beginnings of the new storage room. I don't have any inventory in here yet, but I have 110 double chests here. Since most of my storage is in shulker boxes, this will be able to be very compact and I'll be able to reach a lot of my items. Not all my storage is going to go here, however. I do plan on building up a shop area where most of the brewing potions and things like that will go, because they'll be near to the actual brewing stands. The armory will actually be where all the weapons and that kind of gear is. So not everything will be in here or need to be in here. Right now, this area is still just kind of empty, and through these doorways, we don't have anything. But what we do have, I guess I'm going to fly around here to show you. We have some exposed lighting here. I haven't quite finished this area, but I have bumped out the wall here to make room for a little bit more behind here for some additional plans and to accommodate the shape and size of these chests. I wanted to kind of make this the main work area, the main entrance, and then up there, thinking maybe more homey or more of a relaxation area. Not sure. We have a lot more work to do, but first let's get the inventory in here and then we can see what we have next. Even though I had everything sorted already, that took a long time. But I'm happy to say that it's finally finished. I've moved everything into my new storage room. I still have my bed and my crafting table, along with the nice little ender chest. And I've put in a giant rug, kind of to keep it soft landing when I come flying in for my different adventures. Over here, we've got kind of the base necessities of storage and work. We've got crafting tables and other kind of workstations, a chest for chests and barrels, shulker boxes, and then shulker box parts or shulker shells. Over here, we've got a section where everything that mobs can drop is located, as well as some lighting, glass, and paper. I have an empty section here for future expansion, and some of the things we'll see later may end up here. I'm not sure yet. On this wall, I have my wood and crafted items sections. So we have the basics of wood. We have saplings and wood logs, wood planks, fences, stairs, slabs, crafted wood items. This is, you've got boats and signs and things like that in there. Then we have up top, a little bit more specific to building. We've got ladders and scaffolding. On this wall, we have a lot of different kinds of stone. So 2 stone at the bottom. We've got some cobblestone, deep slate, and other various stones in here. And each one of these chests is filled with shulker boxes filled with the items. That's what's helping me keep most of my bulk storage here and still be very efficient space-wise. Over here, we have some more decorative stones like bricks and polished stones, as well as wall, stairs, and slabs. And then up top, we have some like granular type of blocks like grass, dirt, decorative and various types of dirt, sand and gravel, and even clay. Over here, we have otherworldly or other biome blocks. So we have nether, the end, the deep dark, as well as like ocean monument type stuff. Down here, we have wool, terracotta, concrete, and ice. And then over here is kind of basic supplies. And again, there's some open chests still, but we have rockets, TNT, an empty chest for totems. They're fresh out, so we'll have to see how that goes. And maybe collect some more. Then we have tools and then various other tools that aren't the standard digging and mining tools. And then we have bucket supplies. So that is the whole area here. And everything's pretty accessible and reachable. But yeah, everything's accessible and reachable. So let's go check out the upper platform. This is where we started, actually. And this is where we're going to have some more future expansion. I have not finished the rooms up here, but you can see I have a nice balcony that you can see over into the storage room. And I've got lots of good plans for these rooms up here, but it's still pretty unfinished. We take this water elevator and we just continue down from the storage room. We enter kind of a bedroom / rec room. This is where I can go to relax. This is actually a Lego table. That's right. There's plenty of space for me to build Lego sets, put out the box and the parts and everything. Plenty of light and standing room all around. And then behind me, you kind of saw I have completed Lego sets on display. Some of the botanical sets that I finished, as well as the skulls and mob heads, a bell, and even the Ender Dragon head up there. Lots of cool space to display my Lego sets. Over here, we have a nice, super wide bed with a clock that tells us it is nighttime. So let's have a quick sleep. As we hop out of bed, this is one of my favorite and could be the most relaxing areas so far. We have a nice couch to lounge on while we listen to these nice stereo speakers. All of the different records that you can play are up on the wall with a record player that are connected up to these speakers. You play those and listen at your leisure. There's actually a nice little escape tunnel right here. It can take us straight outside to get into our adventures. And you can see that expansion that we put on the back of the hub here to accommodate the larger room for the storage area. Now, most of the changes we've seen, and those are the more finalized areas. And this spot right down here is where it gets maybe a little embarrassing. And that's okay. But here is a little bit of a chest monster type of area. There's a little bit of a staging area for the next part of the build, or for even the next episode, not this episode. It's still kind of organized. I have, books, food, potions, ore, artifacts, and redstone, as well as a pile of gold. And then over here we have nether organics. That's any like plants from the nether. That wasn't very revealing. Shulker boxes. Let's see, we have moss, banners, organics. Again, organics are like plants and things like that. Dye, cactus, kelp, and ink sacs. Those kinds of things might end up well in a shop type of area, which is what I'm going to be putting here. These are also just various chests that I need to get back into the storage system and get organized. Over here we have a little temporary task system, or a task area. I was keeping these things in a nice book and keeping track of things, and I put that book on a lectern and it broke. I ended up putting my tasks on these signs rather than on a book and quill until I can figure out how to use those over and over again without breaking them. My task list is actually quite extensive for the project that's coming up in this video. I needed white concrete, and I was able to gather 34,560, which puts me over my needed amount. So that was a success. Light blue concrete needed just over 4,000, and I ended up with 5,184. That was another success. And then orange concrete, I needed just over 1,000, and I got just over 1,100. So that was another success. Over here, I've already marked it light blue glass, 850, ended up with 895, which is great. That one's already finished. The last part that I need, we're going to go take care of right now. End rods. I need 400. So before we go and take a look at gathering all of those end rods, let's take a look at my supplies here. These are the shulker boxes with all of the concrete. The white, of course, is the most extensive at 20 shulker boxes. And then over here we have various other things. There's the light blue stained glass, water that I'm going to be using, as well as some deep slate bricks. So the only thing that we have left to do is gather these end rods, and then we'll be able to start on our build. Now I have a stack or two of end rods, but that's not anywhere near the 400 that I need. I ended up doing quite a bit of end raiding, and it is tough. There's a lot to end raiding, and you end up with basically a stack or two per end city. 400 end rods would take quite a bit of time to gather in the end, but I learned a recipe that I'm going to show you. The first step is to gather some blaze rods, and that's just what I did. I ended up building a farm for gathering blaze rods, and that could be a video in and of itself, but I'll leave that for another time. The other ingredient that we need for end rods is a variation on chorus fruit. I built a chorus fruit farm here for gathering the actual chorus fruit, and here this helps me to gather the flowers. And if you take the chorus fruit and put it in a furnace, you end up with popped chorus fruit. And it's a combination of popped chorus fruit and blaze rods that will end up giving us end rods. And we should have plenty now that I've got this farm. And now that I have an entire shulker box full of end rods, I think it's safe to say I can mark this off my to-do list. We actually have 1,728 of the end rods. So that is another successful task complete. And with those tasks completed, it is now time to introduce to you the project I'll be working on today. This is not going to be a small build, but for you, it will be very quick. Let's go take a look at our outer perimeter. This is something that hasn't received a whole lot of attention in my videos on this server. I built this a long time ago to encompass the entire area of my base and for protection. This pit is intended to be a lot deeper, and this wall probably much higher. But today I'm going to be working on the watchtowers along the perimeter. In fact, there are 12 spots for towers, and I'm going to be building 16 of them. I'll show you how that works here in a minute. Another thing I'm going to be addressing today is the entrance to my base. I used to have a bridge that spanned from here all the way to the hub, but it's been torn out, and we're going to be replacing it today. So buckle up, here comes another time lapse. And here we are, finally on my new light bridge. I'm so excited with how this turned out. As you can see, I have built towers all around my base, each one of them numbered so they're easy to identify. And I think it also adds a little bit of good decoration, kind of makes them stand out and pop a little bit. So the numbering starts here at 0 and then goes around up through 11. And then out here, you can see behind me, the entrance from the east is labeled with an E, East Gate. And here we are on the light bridge. The idea here is this is kind of like a drawbridge. If I needed to defend my base, I could turn this light bridge off and entering the base would become that much more difficult. I think it looks really, really cool. And I also think that it serves kind of a defensive function. I also wanted to take a look at the base from the front here. It is meant to look a little bit menacing, very defensive, and I think I got the aesthetic down the way that I like it here. Approaching it from this angle, whether you're in a boat or in the water, it kind of looks formidable. It looks like it would be a little bit hard to attack here. As you approach from right here, you do get some of the beacon powers here, but each tower has a little elevator. And if you go up to the right level, in times of peace at least, you can walk right in on this bridge. And like I mentioned, there is a water column running up each and every one of these towers that allows you to get up to the top. This is not a bubble column. I was going for a little bit more of a slow, relaxing ride. Most of the time, I'll probably fly up to the top of these towers if I ever do go up. But you are able to get to the top without Elytra, and I think that's important. This also allows you to stop at each level and to get off at the right place without complex elevator systems. At the top of each of these towers, we have this kind of setup where we have barrels for storage. I don't have anything in there now, but I plan on putting maybe a bow and arrows, some food, things to help survive and to defend the base from all of the other enemies out there. Then we also have an ender chest. We can access our things, and then a bed. And if you take a look over here, we've got the same thing on every single one of these towers. There we go. And the night is slowly coming to an end. So I'm going to sleep really quick to wash away the darkness so we can take a look at this in the light. And in the brightness of day, you can see the light bridge that goes all the way from the hub to the entrance. Emitted from powerful generators, that is a solid beam of light that you can actually stand on, but it can be turned off in defense of my base. Building these defensive towers and this lovely light bridge has taken a lot of time and used up a ton of resources, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm excited to keep working on the base and get a lot more built and a lot more completed on the interior as well as the exterior. I have so many more plans, and I'm hoping that I have time to get to them. I want to show you all the things my mind has in store. So thank you so much for watching and joining me on my journey to build out this base. I hope you had a great time. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you next time.